Hello, everyone. How you doing today? This is going to be a VR to Lisa Papez. It is called hashtag Top 10 Guidebooks. And I think this might have been done a little while ago, but I first seen it here recently on Highly Sensitive Tarot. And it really interests me because you hear us talking about when we're doing um, unboxings and flip throughs about how nice a guidebook something is. And I think guidebooks are a very important tool in our kit for our practice. Sometimes a guidebook can make or break a deck. At least it can for me. Excuse me. Okay. Um, it's a it's called Nature Portals. It is by Jamie Sawyer. It is an intuitive oracle. It is animal based, and I ordered the small square version of it. The usual version of this deck is round cards, but this is what some of these look like. And it comes with a PDF because they're designed for you to get intuitive messages from them. But it comes with a PDF file for her guidebook. And then if you want a physical copy, there is a link where you can buy the physical copy. I wanted the physical copy, and I'm glad that I spent the money that I did to get this book. So I'm going to, and they're in here in alphabetical order, and I will show you. I thought that I would, now they show the round card. I thought I would show you, this is the color picture of the card. This is what a black and white of the round, and this is what the page looks like. And then there's all these room for you to put your thoughts, your intuitive, what you picked up intuitively in the photo, and give you room to make those notes, and of course to add them to them. And there are journal prompts in here as well. So what she does is she gives you kind of like a main keyword. So for panda, it is love. And the panda facts are volivore or herbivore that eats leaves. Bamboo makes up 99% of their diet. They eat for up to 12 hours a day. In captivity, they live up to 30 years. They're born tiny and blind. They open their eyes 6 to 8 weeks after birth. The cubs stay with their mothers for about 18 months. They don't hibernate. They are an endangered species. They're native to southern China, and they're generally solitary. And some keywords is gentle, graze, love, unreal, and vulnerable. And then Jamie and her mother did this in a collaboration. And so then you have a write-up by Gail. Gail, I'm taking it as Sawyer. Gail Sawyer's Jamie's mother. And then an excerpt from Jamie herself. So I figured I would read one just to give you an idea of what this guidebook is about and why I chose it as one of my top 10. So Gail says, the closest I've ever been to a panda bear was having one as a hand puppet named Pui. I've always loved puppets and had one when I was 7 that resembled a magpie. It was my constant companion while playing alone in my attic bedroom. Being the eldest child and the only girl in a house full of brothers, I would often retreat there for solace and quietude. As an adult, I fell in love with this panda puppet, and it traveled with my then husband and me one summer. We had gone to Maine, driving a Ryder truck and towing my husband's Harley in a U-Haul. We did some construction work there, and after turning in the rental trucks, we were heading back to Florida on his Harley. We found places to camp out along the way, and in each place we took photos of Pui. This was the way before cell phone cameras. There would be Pui perched on the Harley or sitting in the entrance to the tent, Pui snuggled in my lap around the campfire or tucked into a sleeping bag. One summer just before school started, we visited my husband's parents in North Carolina and had all 5 kids with us and Pui. When we got back to New Jersey, where we were living at that time, we discovered the panda was not with us. A few days later, we got a ransom note in the mail. Again, this was before computers and email. The letters in the note was cut from different newspapers and magazines and pasted on plain white paper. If you want to see your beloved bear again, you will send us new school pictures of the grandchildren for our album, or else. It was unsigned, but we had a pretty good idea who the perps were. Jamie writes, pandas are in my top 5 animals of all times. I even call my partner Panda as an affectionate pet name. Where it stemmed from is beyond me. It just stuck one day, which is hilarious because if you ever met him, he's the furthest from a panda in characteristics and physique. I've only seen a panda once in real life at the San Diego Zoo. I was living with my father for my 3rd grade school season, and we went on a class trip. I can vaguely remember that experience and thinking it wasn't real. They just don't look real to me. They're like giant stuffed animals. Perhaps that comes from all the stuffed pandas I've had throughout my life. So to see one in person and being in California, it could have been animatronic for all I knew. I love how large and gentle they are. I can watch videos of the adolescents in Sanctuary over and over again. They are so silly and playful and again, just don't look real to me. Anything with pandas will immediately spark a love reaction in my heart. They just make me happy. To journal with Panda, what brings you joy? Do you allow the time and space for that happiness to radiate? What special things do you carry with you on trips or vacation? So it's like that for each one of the cards in the set. And I forget exactly how many cards is in this set. But it's like that for all of the cards. Let's see, there's a section in the back that they... And then there are lots of pages in the back too. And a spread. There's a spread to use. But all of the excerpts are like that. Yeah, that made it into one of my top 10. The next guidebook that I'm going to talk about is from the Tarot of the Enchanted Soul. And it looks like this. Now it comes with blue borders all around. I trimmed mine and edged it, and I kept the keywords on the bottom. But this is what the deck looks like, and you see there it's heavy on fantasy and bright, vibrant colors. And so I have the Fool laid out here. The guidebook, it gives you a welcome into the book, information on the author, goes into the major arcana and an explanation of a deck is 78 cards and the majors and what the majors are meant to be. And then it talks about the minor arcana, and then it talks about the courts. And just to give you an idea, we'll say, okay, let's go with him. This is the Page of Coins. And his keywords are studious, nurturing, grounded, dependable, scholarly, prospects, and diligent. And in here they say the pages in a suit represent new beginnings or some message being offered to you. Something with the potential to change you. And then let's go to that card, because each card has a color, even the majors has a color image, and then it goes into the keywords, the meaning, the person, and then thoughts. And so let's look and see, and they do the same thing for every card in the deck. So let's see what they have to say about the Page of Coins. Well, Father, if I could find it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so for the minor arcana, they give keywords, an excerpt, and their thoughts. So it says, Page of Coins. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student is truly ready, the teacher will disappear. Tao Te Ching. Keywords, and I read those a while ago, but again, studious, nurturing, grounding, dependable, scholarly, prospects, diligent. A very young page of coins stands in what appears to be a library in the woods. A white ruffled collar covers his neck, signifying purity and his innocence. To the side of him lies another pile of books and a scroll, on top of which a large gray owl sits, staring with his round yellow eyes. His round eyes mimic the round glasses on the Page of Coins. Foliage climbs up the corners of the image, suggesting the fertile earth. Behind the boy is a gold round clock. Glowing dragonflies and butterflies fly around the top of the page's head, suggesting it is evening and signifying that learning does not stop when the sun goes down. The Page of Coins is a young student who's about to begin learning his trade. The wise owl represents his mentor, from whom he will learn. The books by his side and behind him contain all the knowledge he needs to ensure a secure future. Through these, he will learn how to plan and utilize resources to ensure success. He will learn that success comes from hard work and by being level-headed and grounded, as shown by the abundance of nature. He has his tool, the pen tucked away, and is ready to begin learning. As a messenger, he brings news and messages related to financial stability, such as a new job, a promotion, or even letters of acceptance from universities or colleges. The Page of Coins is someone who is well balanced, practical, and grounded, and may be the class geek and a perfectionist. They are slow to react, preferring to take their time to make a decision. Thoughts. Think about a new project that you're wanting to start. How prepared are you? So, this is what made this book, this guidebook, one of my favorites. And again, they give you more information, the keywords. Let's see. No, not for the courts. They give you more information on the arcana. They go the major arcana. They give you keywords, a write-up just like that. Then they tell you a meaning, if it is a person, and then thoughts. So let's go with okay, let's go with the Fool, since I have the Fool card out. Okay, so this is what the write-up on the Fool is. And here is the Fool's card. Okay. I don't know what we're doing here, you and me. I don't know what we are or what we can be. But this doesn't have to be about that. This can just be about a chance. Taking a chance. Diana Hardy. The keywords are innocence, freedom, new adventure, leap of faith, wonder, naivete. Once upon a time, during a full moon, a girl, young and naive, decided to go for a walk in the woods. She was having trouble sleeping, feeling unsettled. For a long time now, she had felt as if there was something missing in her life. Was there more? The woods were dark and scary in the night, and she was glad she had her companion, Wolf, with her. He went everywhere with her. She felt safe when he was around. Not that she was scared or anything, since she was way too brave for that, or so she told herself. But it was nice to have someone to talk to. As they hiked through the dark, dense woods, they came across a path. She had never seen it before. It had stone steps leading up to an open book, covered in climbing roses. How strange, she thought. An owl sat on top of the book, flapping its wings. It was beckoning her to walk forward. Great big yellow butterflies flew in and out of the book, and in the distance she could see a rainbow and a sunlit path leading further into the book. Wow, how exciting, she exclaimed and clapped her hands in glee. I wonder where this path goes. Nothing exciting ever happened to her, and she was not going to pass on an opportunity right in front of her. Who knows? Maybe Narnia existed up the steps. Now, wouldn't that be a story to tell? She had a feeling the steps would lead her to a wonderful story. Her mind was made up. She was going to follow the path and see where it led. Never mind the fact that she had not packed anything for the journey. She was hesitant to go back home and pack a case. What if the path disappeared by the time she got back, and it just vanished, never to appear again? No, darn the consequences. She was going now. Maybe she was a naive fool, but she had a feeling that an exciting adventure awaited her. She had to be brave and take the risk. With a feeling of excitement and fear of the unknown, she stepped forward into the stone steps. Home could wait for now. The meaning, like the girl in the story, how many times have you been presented with an opportunity, but you have not acted on it? This card is about taking a chance. You may not have a clue where you're going. Maybe there's a strong feeling that you need to go somewhere. Trust in the universe. Let it take you. This is a new and exciting beginning. Know that you are protected on this journey, and take the first step to writing your own story. What will that story be? As a person, the fool person is someone who, although it may not necessarily be someone young in age, is certainly young and naive in outlook. Okay, let's see, I lost my place. They see possibilities and tend to follow their heart, taking a chance without weighing the consequences of the risk. They have the innocent notion that faith in an endeavor will be enough to see them through. Their approach to life can be on the unconventional side, and they may come across as rebellious and unwilling to settle down, unable to fulfill responsibilities as they go off on yet another adventure. The fool person can be too trusting, and this may be taken advantage of by others who would seek to exploit their naivete for their own gains. They love to travel and can be the life and soul of the party. Thoughts. How often do you take risks in life? What stops you from following your dreams? So, I hope that showed you why this had to be one of my top 10. Okay. My next one that I'm going to delve into is, let's go with this one. Well, no, let's go with this one. Okay, this is going to be the Shadowscapes. And the Shadowscapes is a fantasy, kind of like dreamy, surreal looking deck. And it was one of the first decks that I purchased for myself once I started tarot. And I'm truly grateful that it had as good of a guidebook as it did. So since I did the Fool, I think I'm going to do that again. Now this book, it starts out with the artist notes, does an introduction by Barbara Moore, and then it talks about the major arcana, and then each of the suits, and then at the back it gives you spreads. And so I'm going to go yeah, they talk about keeping journals, cleansing your cards, shuffling, cutting and dealing, rituals, word about reversals, different questions that people may have, making meanings for the cards, your reaction to the art, your intuition, the card name or suit designation, traditional meanings, the artist's intention and unique vision of the card, the question asked, and the position of the card in the spread. As you can see, the meaning of any card is a complex layering of history, structure, interpretation, context, and emotional response. So let's look at, now this is a black and white of the Fool card. And then the next page gives you a little write-up about that card. And then the next page is the meaning of the card. So I'm going to read the Fool again, like we did for the last one. I think maybe that'll give us an option to to compare the different guidebooks if we stick with the same card. What do you think? I don't know. I might do something different later on, but I think for right now I'm going to stick with the Fool. Okay, let's do it this way. It begins with a whispered voice. The serpentine song threads through her days and her thoughts. It beckons, come, come, come. Where, she asks, curious, but there is no response. She ignores the summons until one day that siren song unexpectedly explodes and fills her to the brim. Its pulse is undeniable. Where, she asks again, and this time the steady beat of her heart is the response. The Fool has come a long way, traveled from far beyond, to come to this pinnacle that rises upon the edge of the world, and yet her journey is just about to begin. She senses this with instinctive perceptions as she rises up on her toes, caught up in the breathless embrace of the wind in the moment before the plunge. Her heart pounds and flutters in her chest with the force of 100 beaten wings struggling to break free of the cage of her being, until she feels that she must be sprouting wings from her shoulders to glide forth from that place transformed. Wait, don't, cries a thin, trailing voice from within. Caution, fear, it rails. Hold back. Unheeding, she steps forward. And the meaning, she stands on the edge of a very sheer precipice, with only the ribbons and the doves bearing her up if she chooses to leap. The fox takes this in. He watches. He is the embodiment of cleverness. But being clever does not preclude being a fool of a different sort. He can't comprehend the leap of faith that she is about to take. So who's the fool? She for stepping out into the unknown in what seems to be a complete lack of logic? Or the fox for being too firmly rooted in the belief of the reality of intellectual thought? The Fool is a symbol for new beginnings and adventures, pleasure and passion. She rushes ahead, thoughtless and rash, doing before thinking, obeying instincts. Like the Fool, you may stand upon the precipice, gazing out into the unknown. The endless expanse of blue nothing is all that fills the space between that high up eyrie and the ground that is so far away. There is either an oblivious foolishness to the terrible plunge you may experience, or else a wild spirit of adventure and great faith and knowledge in what can and will bear you up and guide you through the times to come. There are unlimited possibilities opening up for the seeker. These authors of these books paint such a, I get caught up in reading the stories that are told in the guidebooks, and they have helped me learn and broaden my understanding of the cards a great deal. So this is my third favorite guidebook. My fourth favorite is going to be for the 8 coins Tattoo Tarot. The front of their box looks like this. And their book gives you a dedication, a thank you, a note about the artist, about the project itself, creating the deck, personally notable cards to them, tattoo imagery and symbolism, spit shading technique, and then they begin with the cards, the major arcana and then the minor arcana, and then they give you some spreads in the back. Now let's see what this is about personally notable cards. That sounds like an interesting place to read. Okay. Drawing number 1 and 79. Okay, that's the... All right, let me find... Okay, excuse me, I'm flying by the seat of my pants. I wasn't ready for this. 5, 6, 7, 8. There he goes. Okay. This is, and that's the page here in the book. Okay. Personally notable cards. Drawing number 1 and 79. The 9 of Wands. This card came as a forewarning of the long and arduous road ahead of me. I would often look back to this card and the earlier mentioned advice from Ian when in moments of self-doubt. Keep pushing, be persistent, and don't take no for an answer. This is in a section called Creating the Deck. And then they go on and they talk about doing the 8 of Pentacles and doing the Page of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. So, yeah, all of these, this is the Ace of Pentacles, is this picture here. It says drawing number 56, the Ace of Pentacles. This was the last painting I completed before I was offered the opportunity to build my own tattoo machines and to do my very first tattoo on myself. At the time, I wasn't sure what the card meant, but in hindsight, it's quite clear what exciting new opportunity was coming my way. Today, I could not be more grateful to have been handed this big golden coin. My. Okay, so let's look at, just for comparison, here is the card. And again, I trimmed mine and edged the deck. This had great big huge borders, and I wanted just the scene of the card. So, the Fool. Unaware of her surroundings, the Fool travels through the mountains alone. The sun is shining, it is a beautiful day, and she's having a wonderful time. She follows her heart and intuition so fiercely that she hardly needs her eyes anymore. She's young, excited for a journey, but perhaps a little naive. She hasn't yet been bitten by life, so she knows no fear of the world around her. The red feather on her head and the red jewel at her heart show that the Fool is led by her mind and heart with pure passion, fire, and enthusiasm. The white flower symbolizes the joy that we may find if we take risk, follow our hearts, and dive into the unknown. The snake symbolizes the ever-looming dangers in throwing caution to the wind. Let go of your fear and enjoy the journey you are on. All adventures require a bit of risk. Embrace your beginner status and follow your heart. And then they also add in here, down at the bottom of the page, the Fool was drawing number 33 for this artist. So all of the all of the cards are like that, and I like it when an artist or a creator um, gives me some of the story about why they drew a card a certain way, of their interpretation of the card. I like that a lot in my guidebooks, and I like these personal touches, talking about the cards that was personally notable to them. I really like that a lot. So again, this is, let me show you some more of these, but this is the Tattoo Tarot, 8 coins Tattoo Tarot. And so I like the bright colors. I like the tattoo art style. You know, one of my favorite creators is Jamie Sawyer, who also is a former tattoo artist, and I just like their style of art. Yeah, I like it a lot. I guess you could say that's one of my aesthetics. So that was number 4 is my 8 coins Tattoo Tarot. Okay, number 5, and I need to let you know now, because you say, oh my God, she's just on number 5, and look how long. I don't have 10 books. Try as I might, I did not have 10 guidebooks that I could sit up here and tell you that this is a favorite. It really had to be special to me to be included in this VR as a favorite guidebook. I'm not going to say, well, I do. I take it serious. I'm not just going to sit up here and blow sunshine and smoke up your ass and, you know, tell you, yeah, this is the greatest book I've ever read. Yeah. No, that's not me. These that I'm telling you that are special to me are special to me. And I'm trying to, the reason I'm giving you a reading is to show you what I think makes them so special. So let's see. Let's find something here. Let's do something different. Okay, my next book is the guidebook, the very thick, fat, and chunky guidebook to Modern Love Tarot by Ethany. And I've been told that all of her guidebooks to all of her decks are like this. And if they are, all I can say is hats off to you, my lady. Because this is a truly awesome guidebook. This is, it is, like it says, Modern Love Tarot. Those are the backs, red with little gold foil stamping. This is a love deck. She drew it and wrote the guidebook as to how these cards would pertain to a love reading. And they are geared specifically to a love reading. So they take our general meanings that we understand to be for the card and reflect that into a love reading. So let's do just two. Now, her book starts out with the introduction. Then we got 3 pages of tarot spreads. And then we have the Fool that starts on page 23. And then the Magician starts on page 27. So yes, you heard me correct. Each card has about 4 pages to each card, to every single card in the deck, all 78. And what they do is they break it down. She breaks it down into a general love meaning, a single and loving it, a ready for love or dating, a committed relationship, a struggling relationship, or the end. And she does that for every card. So let's look at, this is going to be interesting right here. I can't wait to get into this one, because this card, Two of Swords. Everybody knows what Two of Swords looks like. It's a woman standing there with a black blindfold over her face, and she's got her swords like this, crossed in front of her. Remember the Two of Swords? Okay. Here is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is about stalemate, waiting, avoidance. General love meaning is that things aren't progressing very fast or at all, and it's time for patience. Communication is slow, so you're not going to be getting any instantaneous messages on your phone. You'll find that all relationships stall a little. The good news is that it won't last for long. If you're single and loving it, being single by choice can be amazing, as long as it's not a strategy you're using to avoid being vulnerable and getting hurt. If so, you're being called to do some healing so that you can release some baggage and fly solo by choice and not for defense purposes. If you're ready for love and dating, the Two of Swords is clearly saying that it's not the right time for dating. So if you decide to do it anyway, don't be too surprised if you find frogs when you really want someone with a castle. The cards did tell you so. Focus on your fine self until things change, and the timing is more favorable. For a committed relationship, family is not always fun. With a house full of people, emotions can fly. It may be best right now for everyone to have their own space. Don't force interactions when people are understandably in a bad mood. Sometimes the most mature thing for everyone to do is to have some alone time and chill out. If you're in a struggling relationship, the Two of Swords is saying that someone has shut out the other. There's not much hope for a relationship when this happens. If it's you, the cards are saying grow up and act like an adult. If it's your partner, it's time to put your foot down and let them know that you won't put up with it. Stonewalling kills relationships. If it's the end of a relationship, don't let the end of this relationship harden your heart too much, dear one. It's okay to go through a process of self-preservation and to take time out from relationships. Don't let that become a suit of stay away from me armor that repels love. So you see how she took this one image and how it would relate to all these different forms of relationships. And I truly, I was like, when I got this deck before Valentine's because I did not have a love deck or a romance deck or whatever. And I thought, well, Valentine's coming and I do all these daily collectives. Surely I need to do something relating to love and romance. So I bit the bullet and bought this deck. And honey, I have not regretted it. And like I said earlier in the video, sometimes a guidebook can make or break a tarot deck. And this guidebook sold me hook, line, and sinker on this deck and relating it to relationships. So that's my number 5. Now, that doesn't mean that it's number 5 on the list. It's just the 5th one that I got to today. This would probably be close to the top if I was putting them in order. Okay. My 6th book is going to be, and the front of the box looks the same, The Divine Feminine. Now, this is an oracle, and Megan Waterson. And this book goes into it goes a little bit too. Let me okay, just because she's on the top in the box. Diana, Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. Okay. And I'm hoping these are in alphabetical order in this book. And I don't think they are. Okay, page 190. Thank you, at least for a page of contents. Yes, Jesus. Okay. Diana. And this is from the Divine Feminine Oracle. Who she is. Diana represents the call to embody a more primal connection to the wilderness that exists within. The goddess Diana was worshipped in the ancient Roman religion that originated in Italy. She is the daughter of Jupiter and Latanya, born on the island of Delos with her twin brother Apollo, god of the sun. The Temple of Diana in Rome dates back to the 6th century BCE. She was the protectress and the patroness of the lower class and slaves who could seek sanctuary in her temples. And then it goes on. I'm not going to read all of it because it's quite lengthy. It goes on and gives you more information about Diana. The most famous place to worship Diana was in the sacred grove of trees. And then it has another section, and this I will read more at length because most of us know a little bit about Diana. So, when your soul selects her card, sometimes the answer is simple. Elemental need to just walk barefoot in the grass, or even better, the mud. Sometimes We get so caught up in what's happening for what isn't happening that we forget to just be. We forget that there is tremendous power surging up from the earth, wanting to take whatever energy is no longer serving us. We forget that we can commune with the trees, those ancient protectors and elders whose language comes with the help of the wind and the slow, soft caress that touches our cheek. Answers sometimes need to come from the basic desire of the body to feel grounded here on earth. Diana is associated with fertility, the phases of the moon, and the ability to communicate with animals. Of course, not with any human language, but with the frequency of love and intention which animals perceive. If we open ourselves up to it, we can connect to the wisdom in the natural world, even if we live far from it, even if we're deep in the heart of the busiest city. A sign on a bus, a logo on a t-shirt, or a card someone sends us may carry an image of the animal that wants to reach us. Or we may be visited by a possum on the fire escape, or a hawk on a window ledge. We don't have to be in the wilderness to access the wisdom of the natural world. The wilderness is within us. We are part of it. There's so much more we can receive from the worldless life all around us. We just have to develop the heart that can hear it. Soul voice meditation. What spirit animal has medicine or a message to give me in this moment? Intention. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. Ooh. And it does that for each one of these goddesses or divine feminines. So this is favorite guidebook number 6. All right, these next two are going to be along different lines. And for different reasons. As most of you are aware, my favorite deck right now is the This Might Hurt Tarot by Isabella Rotman. And we're going to take this card just because it was on top. And her guidebook, what speaks out to me in her guidebook is, one, she sticks to the Rider-Waite system. She modernizes it, and then in her card descriptions, she gives you one page that is a black and white of the card, and then the other side of the page will tell you possibly what thoughts she was having when she created this card, or if she created this card in the image of someone that she may know, what her process was. She will also tell you her interpretation of the meaning of the card, and she may ask you some questions or prompts. I mean, it's just a little different for each card. Now, the card that was on top here, when I opened the box, was the Ten of Cups. So that's what we're going to work with. We're going to work with the Ten of Cups. And as you know, the Ten of Cups is the we got it all. It is family, it is love, it's the whole thing. And so 10 of Cups, the Happy Family Rainbow card. A beautiful family bask under a rainbow of upright cups. The 10 of Cups embodies joy and fulfillment in your family and friendships. As a 10, this card is the grand finale of the cups and the ups and downs of your emotional life. The road may have been long and winding, but now you are here with your fam under this sick rainbow. Nice. The 10 of Cups is about family, but the definition of family here is broad. Many people, especially queer people, find family outside of the one that we were born into. Your family may be biological, chosen, or adopted. Your family could be friends, roommates, or your pet lizard. This card encourages you to think about who your family really is. The 10 of Cups represents an external kind of happiness that comes from your life just sort of being really great right now. Bliss can't last forever though, so enjoy it. Stockpile those idyllic memories while you can. A familial relationship is never perfect and always in flux. The 10 of Cups represents a genuine moment of loving gratitude for the people in our lives. So that's what I like about her book, is that it takes this modern, she was talking about queer, it takes this modern take on the writer Waite Smith. She states on here that the deck is designed to be both easy to read and highly relatable. Clothing and scenery are modernized, diversity is embraced, and queerness is lovingly acknowledged. And so that's what makes this guidebook special to me. I can identify with the phrase that family doesn't have to be the one we're born into, that it can be other people that we've met on our journey in this life. My last one, this is my last one. So that was number 7. This is number 8. I only have 8 favorite guidebooks. So forgive me, Lisa, but that's all I had. My 8th one is Fifth Spirit Tarot. And I chose it for the same reason that I chose This Might Hurt. This deck, Charlie Clare says that it encourages you to queer your practice by listening to your intuition, your personal symbolism, and your own lived wisdom. And that it expands notions of gender through the juxtaposition of traditional titles and queered imagery. She also talks about how everything is fluid, gender, meaning, and time, that we're creatures of earth, air, fire, and water, bound together by the 5th element, which is spirit. And so that speaks to me on another level. And so let me see, there's a particular card that I would love to do for you out of here. And of course, okay, there it is. Okay. This card is particularly special for me, and I addressed it in an earlier VR, so we won't revisit that again. Okay, in this guidebook, We do basically the same thing. We have a note on gender and inclusivity. It talks about reversals. It talks about querying your practice. It talks about tarot spreads. And then it goes into the cards, the major arcana and the minor arcana. Then they give acknowledgments and they tell you about the creator. And so I'm going to go straight to, now this book, the only drawback I have on this book is that it doesn't have pictures of the cards. And some of the write-ups are longer than others. So it just goes with the card. And maybe you'll see what I'm saying. So we're going to do the Knight of Pentacles. This knight is unstoppable, as in they quite literally do not stop until the job is done. They follow through to the very end and then some, with pristine attention to detail and an artisan's insistence on quality. They may not be flashy like the Knight of Wands, speedy like the Knight of Swords, or romantic like the Knight of Cups, but the Knight of Pentacles is consistent, responsible, and reliable, and that goes a long way. With foresight, patience, and pacing, this knight can achieve whatever goal they decide is worthy. They can scale mountains because they do it one step at a time. In readings, the knight calls for diligence, dedication, and patience. Methodical progress will get you where you need to go. It may seem boring, but this is how all excellent things are made. Between the exciting bolt of inspiration and the triumphant moment of, come on, let's turn the page. The triumphant moment of completion is the vastly undervalued, unglamorous, and entirely necessary territory of steady progress, attention to detail, and follow through. One foot in front of the other. And that is exactly how I learned and see the Knight of Pentacles. And so, yeah, this is one of my favorite guidebooks. So, there you have it. These are my favorites. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of my choices. Let me know if you're going to do a VR to this hashtag. If you do, let me know. I would love to come see your picks and your choices. I will have links to Lisa Papez and to Highly Sensitive Tarot down in the description boxes, and links to their videos so you can go see their selections. If you are already a subscriber to my channel, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please click the subscribe button. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. Comment, let me know what you like, what you don't, what resonates. Give me suggestions, further content you'd like to see me to create. Give me feedback on what I could do differently or better. All of these things will help my channel to grow, and I am grateful for all of your support and everything you do to help me to grow. You will be seeing me again soon in another VR, an unboxing, or possibly one of my daily collectives. So thank you for watching, and bye.